Have you ever Googled something completely harmless only to end up in a rabbit hole of disturbing discoveries? Yeah, me too. In fact, it brought me to today's list. The internet's revenge for our insatiable curiosity. So, brace yourself. We're about to unleash a collection of fascinating and horrifying facts that'll leave you muttering, "Oh, why?" 1 minute and frantically hitting skip ad the next. Just think about it like a mental car crash you just can't look away from. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 facts that'll surely ruin your day. 25. There's a disease that can make you believe you're dead. Cotard syndrome isn't your typical horror movie trope. It's a real and terrifying mental illness where individuals believe they are already dead, decaying, or missing vital organs. Symptoms vary, but depression, anxiety, and a chilling detachment from oneself are common. In severe cases, individuals may refuse food and drink, convinced they no longer need sustenance. And the worst part? Nobody knows what causes it. Theories range from brain damage to psychological factors, with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and drug abuse as potential contributors. 24. You're more likely to be bitten by someone in New York than to be bitten by a shark. Okay, I'll admit, sometimes sharks can be scary, but here's a stat that might surprise you. In a single year, New York City sees over 1,600 reported incidents of humans biting other humans. That's 10 times more human-on-human bites than the entire world's documented shark attacks. So the next time you're worried about razor-sharp teeth in the ocean, remember, the real danger is actually much closer than you think. Unless you don't really live anywhere near New York City. 23. Walmart has a lower acceptance rate than Harvard. Getting into Harvard is notoriously tough, but did you know it's actually easier than landing a gig at Walmart? Yeah, that's right. When a new Walmart opened its doors in DC, the competition was insane. Over 23,000 applicants for just 600 jobs. That translates to a 2.6% acceptance rate, which absolutely dwarfs Harvard's comparatively generous 8.9%. So, if you're feeling stressed about college applications, remember, the real challenge might be convincing Walmart you're worthy of stocking shelves. 22. 1980 and 2024 are as far apart as 1980 and 1936. Do you ever reminisce about the good old days and talk about how much the world has changed since the 80s? Well, here's a mind bender for you. The gap between 1980 and 2024 is exactly the same as the gap between 1980 and 1936. That means the world we live in today saw a comparable level of change in just 44 years as the period that saw the start of World War II and sent men to the moon. Mind blown. So the next time you feel stuck in the past, remember, you probably are. And yes, the world has probably changed even more than you realize. 21. 91% of men and 84% of women have fantasized about murder. Here's a fact that might make you question your sanity, or at least the sanity of everyone around you. According to a massive study, 91% of men and 84% of women have admitted to fantasizing about murder. That is a lot of murderous daydreams, and quite frankly, it makes me worry about us. Luckily, there's an upside. They're usually just fleeting thoughts, not concrete plans. But it does raise an interesting question. Why are murder fantasies so common? And have you had them? I haven't, I'll tell you that much. So I am the 9%. 20. Every cruise ship has a morgue. Thinking about setting sail on a luxurious cruise? Well, prepare yourself for a dose of reality. All cruise ships come with morgues. I know that image doesn't really sit right with me either. However, with thousands of passengers on board, it's statistically likely that someone will pass away during a voyage. And while it's not the most pleasant thought, it's a practical necessity. So the next time you're daydreaming about crystal clear waters and endless buffets, just remember, those brochures don't tell you about everything you might encounter during your trip. 19. The TSA is kind of useless. We all know the TSA drill, taking off shoes, emptying pockets, the awkward wand moment. But here's the fact that might surprise you. In a 2015 government screening exercise, the TSA failed to detect an alarming 95% of test firearms. Yikes. This raises questions about the effectiveness of airport security. Does it really make us safer, or is it just a performance to appease anxieties? 18. Hearing and touch are the last senses to go when you die. The human experience ends with death, but the precise nature of that transition remains a scientific mystery with a potential dark side. According to research, hearing and touch are the last senses to disappear. That means that someone nearing death might still be able to feel the comforting touch of a loved one or hear their final words. But it could also expose them to the horrific sounds of their final moments, the panicked shouts of paramedics, or even the gruesome laughter of their murderer. 17. You have enough bite power to bite off your finger. I warned you beforehand that we might be covering some nasty facts, and this one is a prime example. Studies show the average human bite can exert enough force to sever a finger. Don't worry though, our brains are hardwired with a safety mechanism that prevents us from becoming accidental cannibals. Mostly. So, respect that safety net, folks, reach for a healthy snack, and avoid any unnecessary finger-related meltdowns. No. 16. Over 50% of commercial pilots have fallen asleep while flying a plane. Are you scared of flying? No, as it turns out, you have a very good reason to be. A study by the British Airline Pilots Association revealed a shocking truth. More than half of commercial pilots, 56%, have admitted to dozing off while flying. But that's not all. Nearly a third, at 29%, have woken up to find their co-pilot asleep as well. While modern technology offers some safety nets, this statistic raises serious concerns about pilot fatigue and the potential safety risks. I have never fallen asleep while doing a List 25 video, so get it together, pilots. If I can do it, you can do it. 15. Your happiness has an expiration date, but it comes back. Research has shown that our happiness levels peak at the carefree age of 21, followed by a dip during the years of adulthood, parenting, and work-related stress. If that makes you feel depressed, don't worry. It does come back when we retire, but you'll be spending the majority of your life, at least 40 years, in a state of less than blissful happiness. So, embrace the ride and know that happiness is a journey, not a destination. Or is it the other way around? 14. We exchange millions of germs when we kiss. Forget the flowers and chocolates. Get closer to your partner by sharing some good old-fashioned germs. A study revealed that a 10-second kiss can transfer a mind-blowing 80 million bacteria. That sounds gross, right? Now, the same study also found that couples who kiss frequently, at least 9 times a day, develop similar oral microbiomes. Yes, their mouths develop the same bacterial gardens, so to speak. So maybe kissing is more than just a romantic gesture. It's a way to bond with your partner on a microscopic level. 13. You will walk past 36 murderers in your lifetime. The world is full of unknowns, and some of them can be downright scary. A widely shared statistic suggests we all unknowingly brush shoulders with dozens of murderers in our lifetime, about 36. That is a sobering thought. The truth is that most murderers appear perfectly ordinary. So while it's important to be aware of your surroundings, dwelling on this statistic won't necessarily help you identify a criminal. 12. People expel about 1 liter of gas every day. Let's face it, we all pass gas. But did you know that the average person produces a... What? But did you know the average person produces a symphony of toots that adds up to a staggering 1 liter or 35 ounces every single day? That's a lot of hot air. And get this, most of us unleash these silent but sometimes deadly bombs at least 10 times a day. But there's one place where holding it in becomes a near impossible feat. Airplanes. For some reason, our bodies go into overdrive at cruising altitude. Airlines are fighting back with high-tech charcoal filters and even considering putting charcoal in the seats themselves. Y'all nasty. 11. Human meat is rich in protein. Prepare yourself for a grim lesson in human history. We've been practicing cannibalism as far back as 800,000 years ago, and that's the generic we, not we at List 25. From a purely biological standpoint, the reasoning is horrifyingly simple. A single adult human offers a substantial 30 kilograms or 66 pounds of fat, muscle, organs, and even skin. And that meat is protein rich. However, for pure survival purposes, human meat falls short compared to other animals with denser muscle mass. A grown man's 125,800 calories pale compared to the massive 187,000 calories a deer could provide, or the incredible 488,000 calories a bear offers. If you're facing starvation in the wild, human meat is definitely not the best option. 10. Woodpeckers eat brains when they get too hungry. Well, since we're on such a gruesome topic anyway, prepare to be grossed out. Scientists have documented instances where some woodpecker species, when facing extreme hunger, attack other birds and peck at their heads to access their brains. Yeah. While this gruesome act is rare and primarily targeted at nestlings, it serves as a chilling reminder of what animals are capable of. 9. You want to have sex with yourself. Have you ever wondered why you find that celebrity you kind of sort of resemble so attractive? Science has a mind-blowing and slightly disturbing answer. We are subconsciously crushing on ourselves. A 1999 study involved people rating the attractiveness of various faces, including a digitally altered version of their own face. Shockingly, most participants chose their own morphed image as the most attractive. This doesn't mean we're all closet narcissists, although some selfies might suggest otherwise, but it does explain why those cheekbones that look suspiciously like your dad's might catch your eye. Think of it as your inner caveman giving a thumbs up to someone who just might share good genes, in just a slightly less grunty, more creepy way. 8. A single ejaculation from one man's sperm could impregnate every woman on Earth. Well, almost. Science often throws out mind-boggling hypotheticals, so let's explore a whopper. Could one man's sperm from a single ejaculation fertilize every woman on Earth? The answer is a resounding, yeah, just about. In a perfect lab setting, think in vitro fertilization with ideal conditions, the sheer number of sperm in an ejaculation comes surprisingly close to fertilizing every woman of childbearing age. However, this is purely hypothetical. Real-world factors like egg health and a woman's natural cycle heavily influence conception, thankfully keeping things more manageable. 7. You can't stand some of your friends. Friends are our chosen family, the ones who make life brighter and easier, and science agrees. It's been proven that strong social connections can be a health powerhouse. But here's the twist. Some of us crave complicated friendships. Yep, we're talking frenemies. You'll know your frenemies without a second thought. They're those friends who are experts at emotional warfare, the ones who constantly belittle your ideas, like the friend who criticizes everything you wear, or drain the joy from a room with their negativity. And guess what? According to science, they wreak havoc on your physical and mental health, from chronic stress to high blood pressure and even a weakened immune system. Frenemies are a health hazard. Ditch them. Do that friendship audit and never look back. Your future self will thank you for it. 6. Lefties are kinky. Attention all southpaws. A recent survey has revealed that you're not just left-handed, you're also bedroom superstars. Apparently, lefties are 86% more satisfied in their love lives than righties. And that's just sad, since the vast majority, 90% of people on Earth, are right-handed. So there's really not enough lefties to go around. Now, this news comes from a sex toy company, so the research methods might be a little on the creative side. But hey, I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade, especially a parade this impressive. 5. Nurses have cleaner hands than doctors. Hospitals and germs? Not an ideal mix. But did you know that it's usually the medical staff themselves who are spreading the nasties? After looking at their infection rates, New South Wales, the state on the east coast of Australia, launched a year-long hand-washing campaign for hospitals. The outcome? Nurses emerged victorious. Their hand hygiene jumped from 54% to 65%. Meanwhile, after that whole year of campaigning, doctors still only reached about 38%. The docs even fell short compared to allied health workers who jumped from 40 to 48%. 4. Koalas feed their newborns poop. Since we're discussing the land down under, here's a fact that might make you scrunch up your nose. Baby koalas, or joeys, have a taste for their mom's poop. I'm not kidding. After hitching a ride in mom's pouch for months, joeys graduate to a special kind of koala poop called pap. Pap is basically mushy, protein-packed poop that helps baby koalas develop the gut bacteria they need to digest their future diet of eucalyptus leaves, which let's face it, aren't exactly culinary delights. So the next time you see a koala, remember, their secret weapon might be, well, a bit crappy. But hey, it works. 3. Cardiovascular disease kills 1 in every 4 Americans. Heart disease often strikes silently, making it all the more dangerous. It's the leading cause of death worldwide, and in the US alone, 1 in 4 deaths is attributed to CVD. In fact, it kills someone every 36 seconds. Think about that for a second. That could be 1 out of every 4 people you know personally. It could be a parent, a sibling, a best friend, or your favorite coworker. Heart disease doesn't discriminate. Knowing this, prioritizing heart health becomes a necessity, not a choice. 2. Facebook profits from violence. We all know Facebook makes money from ads, but a shocking 2018 expose revealed a disturbing truth. Violence might be keeping them in the green. An undercover investigation found Facebook moderators were instructed to allow certain violent content to stay online, seemingly bending the community standards as and when they see fit. In other words, keeping its over 3 billion users engaged, even if it means exposing them to violence, seems to be a higher priority than removing the violent content. This raises serious questions. Should profits come before responsibility, ethics, and safety? Is Facebook truly committed to creating a positive online environment? 1. Death and birthdays. Think you have a lifetime ahead of you? Well, if you're a healthy 20-year-old, that translates to roughly 2,860 weeks, or just that many Sundays to enjoy. But before you start planning that world trip, there's another sobering fact to consider when it comes to death and birthdays. Statistically speaking, you have a 14% higher chance of dying on your birthday. Known as the birthday effect, birthdays are particularly dangerous for men and those facing heart disease or suicide risk. So the next time you celebrate a birthday, remember, moderation is key, and maybe avoid any bungee jumping or skydiving adventures. So, has your day been ruined? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out our social medias, including my personal ones, links in the description. And you know what? Do you want to debunk a couple of myths that you thought were true? We recently made a list of 25 myths that aren't so mythical after all, like who really invented fortune cookies and the sad truth about e-cigarettes. So if you want to check that out, simply click on the link right here. It's probably happier than this list, but you clicked it, said that'll ruin your day, so you only have yourselves to blame. There's a fact that'll ruin your day too.